Mas não tá that.
It's
Okay.
in English.
Hold on. We gotta start.
In English.
Okay. Okay, Pedro. All right. So I wanted to tell a story about when I first moved to New York City. Basically a nightmare date story. All I remember, it's been almost 2 years, but that she was about 33. She was Jewish, and she was from Great Neck, if I remember correctly. And so I hadn't even moved to New York yet, 100%. I was down here for a weekend. I had changed my address, my zip code on Match.com. So, you know, I was getting hit up, and I was also, in my searches, it was all women from New York City.
New York City.
Yeah,
New York City. That's it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm
no
sorry.
problem, Pedro, no problem. So anyways, before we met up, she had asked me, so we set up a date. Like, I was going to be in New York the following weekend, and she's like, oh, why don't we meet up, have dinner or something. This is before I had been on the, you know, the million dates that I have been since then. But
Exactly.
so in the beginning I was a little naive, and I was like, yeah, sure, dinner on the first date, 100%. So she says, when I asked her, I was like, what kind of food do you like or don't like? She says, well, there's only a certain kind of fish that I eat. I wish I could remember the damn name of the fish, but only like 5 restaurants in New York City serve the freaking fish, and that should have been a red flag for me.
Wait.
Losing your hat. So, anyways, I think the name of the place was called Lure Fish Bar. And I'd have to Google it to make sure. But so I get there, and the reason why I had said okay to a first date and a full-on dinner is because this girl, a lot of her pictures, and I think it was on Match.com, a lot of her pictures were her in like really nice cars. And during our texting and all the messaging beforehand, she seemed to know a lot about cars, and it was like really into like the whole modding them and making changes to them, and in Portuguese we tuning.
Yeah.
Tuning, right?
Tuning, yes.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So when the time came, she pulled up in this really nice, like a brand new BMW. I think it was an M3, and you know, immediately I noticed that she looked probably a good 10 years older than her pictures. So who knows how old those pictures were? That sounds mean, but I'm sorry. It was the honest freaking truth. She just didn't look like what she looked like in all of her pictures. So anyways, no big deal. Maybe she's cool. So we go down into the Lure Fish Bar. I think that was the name.
You are speaking about
A date. A bad date.
what a date? A bad date.
Yeah, it was a bad date.
All right.
So we get downstairs and we're chatting it up. We you know, we get to our table, and the waitress comes over, and the waitress was really nice, but she says something along the lines of, like, my asparagus better be fucking boiling, or I'm gonna send that shit right back. Right? This is what she said to the waitress. I was immediately embarrassed. Having been a waiter for a long time, Pedro's a waiter.
Yes.
She says, she's like, they better be freaking boiling, or I'm gonna send them right back. You heard me, right? That's exactly what she said to the waiter or waitress. I just couldn't believe it, and I was like, all right, whatever. Then I remember her talking about cars, and I told her the story about how, you know, in college I saved up money to buy my car, the M3 that I had for 10 years. And she's like, well, that's stupid. And I was like, why is that stupid? I mean, you have like an $80,000 BMW outside. And she's like, oh, hello. My father bought that car. I save all of my money, Joey. Duh. And I was like, I cannot believe this fucking chick. What the fuck is she talking about? Who would ever think that that's a nice thing to say? That was a terrible thing to say. And it just got worse from there. She's like, so did you tell your mom and dad about our date? Are you fucking kidding me? What the fuck is just a date? What's the big deal? I was like, we're gonna like already start writing our vows or something? Anyways, she was freaking nuts. And I had promised beforehand that I would go with her to one of her friends' parties, Midtown East area. So at that point, I was like, I was kind of locked in. I had to go. So I went to her party, and it was really super boring. I was the only one dancing. I mean, any of you guys know me already know that I like to dance. DJ was great. We were having a good time, and her friends were just sitting there. But I made the most of it, so it didn't matter. And anyways, when she went to drop me off, because she had her car, she went to drop me off in the Murray Hill area, I noticed a pizza shop, and I was like, ooh, I'm going to grab a slice. And she's just like, I was like, do you want a slice? And want to come out and wait in line? Because there was a long line. The line was filled with pretty girls. And I think she noticed that. She looked over and she's just like, no, I'll wait for you here. I'm like, why are you going to wait for me here? My buddy's apartment is right over there where I'm staying. You can just go home. You got like a 45-minute ride home. She's like, no, I'll stay and wait for you here. I was like, no, get out of the car and wait with me in line and grab a slice of pizza. No, I'll wait for you here. And I was like, dude, just go home. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? What are you going to wait for me here for? Just go home. And she put up a big stink. Finally, she just ended up going home. I mean, it was ridiculous. Clearly, she saw the girls in the line, and you could almost taste it. It was palatable. She saw the girls in line, and I don't know. Maybe she's thinking I'm gonna go over and like hit on these girls. Yes, Pedro.
Let me interrupt you. All right.
Go ahead.
Just let me told you that's unique in New York.
Unique,
you know?
New York.
So
unique New York. Unique New York.
Yes. So that's something I never have had before. You know. And,
what a date with a crazy Jewish girl?
Exactly.
Maybe.
So that's the first time in my life I had listened some history about that. So
you know what we also have to say is that she was a teacher's assistant, yet she had the newest of everything, like all the nicest clothes, the car, everything. A teacher's assistant. That's not even a teacher. How can she afford to have all those things? Clearly, she's living at home with mommy and daddy, which, by the way, is fine. I totally get that. But who could afford all that stuff? Not a teacher's assistant. And I can't afford to buy it for her, nor do I want to buy it for her or anything like that. So that was one of the, you know, the shitty date stories I had. I probably should give you more detail, but I'm a little tipsy right now. You can blame it on the alcohol. And, you know, obviously, you know, you can tell Pedro's half in the bag.
This city is amazing. This city is awesome. That's the best moment in my life. That's the best moment in my life.
You heard it here, so it's the best moment in Pedro's life.
I don't have. So that's the best moment in my life. So.
Say goodbye, Pedro. Say goodbye.
So I really appreciate all your views and take care and see you soon. So
Ta-ta.
That's all.